She can't stop crying after instantly regretting divorcing. So here we have an older woman opening up the front camera on her phone, probably an iPhone, and divulging her intimate details about her, I guess, old marriage to the world. Let's get into it. It's crazy.
Why get a divorce after 25 years of marriage?
Yeah, good question.
The short answer is because it is not too late to be happy.
I'm just not strong enough to fight this one by myself. And today, I just feel crushed. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. And I'm not crying because he's leaving. I'm sitting here on my bathroom floor with no one to talk to. So if you're alone,
Oh, man.
and you're in pain, and you're sad, I'll sit with you.
Welcome back, family.
The internet is so strange, isn't it? It's pretty funny. You stumble upon the corner of the internet where you have women doing this. You know what's so weird? This channel here, HL Talk That Thought, they're able to make a complete YouTube channel focused on women going on the internet and expressing their sorrow and sadness and loneliness after divorcing people or divorcing their husbands. It's just, the internet is so strange because you can have a YouTube channel that is solely focused on this. Is that not saying something? Is this not a perfect reflection of the divorce rate, specifically women initiating it? Interesting world we live in, man. And then, there's another corner of the internet, which is my corner, where we review these videos and talk about it. And it's so meta, it's so weird, and it's quite dystopian in a way.
Today, we're going to review another modern woman who decided to end her 25-year-old marriage because she thought that she could find happiness in these streets. Let's first start by watching her crying and regretting her decision of leaving her husband when she realizes how lonely the single woman life really is.
I'm just not strong enough to fight this one by myself. I don't know what to do. I was doing so good. And today, I just feel crushed.
Is that a fake cry? I see no tears at all. Strange, man.
Now, before you even think of feeling sorry for this crying woman, I will show you a clip of her demonstrating how arrogant and confident she was just before filing for divorce because she thought that her ex-husband was holding her back. And you guys will understand that all the misery these modern women complain about are self-inflicted wound.
Why get a divorce after 25 years of marriage? The short answer is because it is not too late to be happy. And I finally got to a point at the beginning of the year where I decided that it wasn't too late to be happy. I still have, hopefully, many more years left, and I would like to be happy for those years. And that was never going to happen inside my current marriage. No matter how many wonderful people, supportive people, positive people you surround yourself with, it will never have as much of an impact if you have toxic people in your home. And the two most toxic people
Oh,
in my
Jesus. The lingo is infecting the older generation's minds now. Toxic. This is such a new term. If I ever was around my grandma and I heard her say toxic, I'd say, Grandma, get off of social media. It got to this grandma. It got to her head. We have a grandma here using word. Maybe she is a grandma or not, but she certainly is the age where she could be a grandma. And she's using words like toxic. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard narcissist. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard mansplaining, start going into the feminist garbage. Somebody come get your grandma off of TikTok.
life, two most toxic adults in my life, live in my home with me right now.
Toxic.
And my husband was definitely someone that sabotaged all of my efforts to try and get healthy, to try and feel better.
Was he an emotional abuser?
To be more successful, to be happy. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, and it really doesn't matter at this point. I want to be happy. I want to be hopeful. I want to surround myself with people and experiences and success and love and peace that I will never be able to find if I stay married. And so we're getting a divorce, and the best way I can really describe that experience of 25 years, it's like climbing or riding in a roller coaster to the highest peak. And it's just one click at a time, one thing at a time. And then you finally get to the top, and that's the tipping point. There is no going back. There's nothing to fix, no desire anymore to try and fix things. You've already put in that effort, and it's a free fall to a new life and new experiences. And I am so looking forward to those. And so today I am really grateful for the new experiences I am about to have, because I am going to be able to surround myself with wonderful people and amazing experiences.
You heard it for yourself. She got bored of her husband, and now everything he does looks toxic in her eyes. She wanted something new. She wanted to experience different things, forgetting that she already created a wonderful world with her family. As usual, her fake toughness didn't take long to crumble when her ex-husband decided to leave the house after she filed for divorce. Check it out.
My soon-to-be ex-husband is leaving the house in about 13 hours, and I am now sitting in the grocery store parking lot, ready to go in and buy at least one bottle of wine, because I'm not sure I'm going to make it through the rest of the night without some help. Don't judge. I'm going to go walking first, and that's...
Oh, this is strange behavior. And again, obviously I don't know their marriage. This is some stranger I've come across. But if she has the personality to do this, to hop on TikTok, hop on her camera, and start recording herself talking about how, oh, here I am in my car. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get a bottle of wine. Maybe I'll stop at the shelter, pick up a cat. If this is her behavior and this is what she's doing, I simply am not sure if I can totally believe that her husband was the sole responsible individual for the decline of their marriage. I don't know about that. You're weird. What are you doing here?
It's my backup, but it has been an incredibly stressful day. He was expecting me to do the packing, get everything ready for him to load the car so that he can just go through everything, to find things, all today, the day before he leaves. And I'm not dealing with the stress very well tonight. He's known that he was not only leaving the house, but leaving the state this week. He's known for 2 weeks. And he did not do a single thing with our son before leaving. Not a meal, not going to the movies, nothing. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. And I'm not crying because he's leaving.
Dude, this is strange. These types of videos always leave me like dumbfounded. Okay, what if your son sees you on social media talking about it? I would come to my mother and I would say, Mom, put the phone down. Let's talk about this. What are you doing? You're too old for this. This is childish behavior. Stop. Delete your account. Give me your phone. I'm taking over your phone. I would have to get involved. I would find this so strange. Just, Mom, come, let's talk about it. What are you doing? Stop this behavior right this instant. I mean, I don't know how old her son is. Obviously, maybe she'll mention it.
I am just upset for my son, for the things that I think that he's missing out on. But none of my tears tonight or tomorrow are about sadness for what's happening. Our marriage has been over for a long time. We've lived separate lives for a long time. He has slept on the couch by his own choice for years. We have been roommates. And now pursuing divorce is just to make things official so that he can completely move on with his life and I can move on with mine, because I still have hope.
That's interesting. So it sounds like he might have distanced himself from her and she didn't like it. I would imagine, again, I don't know, but she kind of comes across as a type of woman who wouldn't really be willing to do some self-reflecting and perhaps take some accountability or address some of her shortcomings. So it sounds like the dude just had enough, and she kind of openly, well, no, she did. She openly admitted that he's sleeping on the couch, and that's up to him. That was his decision. I'm not the one who kicked him out and put him out on the couch. This guy is distancing himself from her, and I think she was probably vindictive and was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you're gonna do. You know what? Let's just call it quits." And clearly, this woman is having a hard time doing this and detaching. And I think she kind of felt inclined to play that hand. It's like, oh, you're distancing yourself from me. You're not doing what I want. I honestly think this guy was probably just sticking it out for the family, maybe. And she obviously filed for divorce, and now this guy's like, cool, I'm out of here. To me, it just seems like this guy distanced himself, and she was like, oh, okay, you're gonna do that. Let me get back at you, and let me just cut it. Let me just end it here. And for this woman who is talking about how she feels so bad for her son, well, you know, I don't know how old he is, but you're the one who ended it. You're the one who split the family up. Well, obviously, he's going to be raised by a single mom. And we all know how that turns out.
For happiness and for good relationships and for friendships, and today I could use some prayer. I could use a little help, some positive support.
Some prayer. Sounds like a religious woman. Interesting.
Comments, because I don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of today. So please send positive thoughts and prayers and anything you could think of my way to help me get through the rest of today and tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Back to our modern woman, who has already started to cry and second-guessing her divorce decision even before her husband leaves the house. In this next clip, you will see how loneliness hits her so hard just a week after her husband moved out.
He's been gone for a week now, and I still can't sleep. It's not even midnight, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed.
Jeez, man.
I can't sleep for more than 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And it's midnight, and I am wide awake. And the worst part is that everyone that I could talk to, the only person I really want to talk to is asleep. Evening time is particularly rough, but middle of the night is even worse. When my depression was at its worst, I felt numb to everything.
Okay.
Numb to even thoughts that...
She's definitely on SSRIs. I really have no doubt about it. This is the problem with marriage, because vows don't mean anything anymore. What vows are about is unconditional love through thick and thin, through sickness and health. Obviously, being willing to stick with your person when maybe they're not on their A game, maybe their masculinity might be lacking a little bit, maybe they're going through a hard time in life. Who knows what have you, what circumstances. This is what vows are supposed to encourage. And vows, they don't mean anything anymore. Marriage itself, it's what is really the difference nowadays between a marriage and just a regular relationship? Because if vows, if these types of things, this like sort of unconditional love it's supposed to create isn't being created, people aren't taking the vows seriously, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There really is no unconditional love when it comes to a lot of women today. They will, I mean, 25 years. I just simply don't understand why you wouldn't continue to stick it out. And shit, 25 years in and you guys are on the cusp of divorce. Maybe at that point you do need to bring in a third person or a mediator to help you guys talk about some shit. Because obviously something ain't working. But 25 years, man, you're so deep in it. I simply do not understand. I simply don't get it. You're obviously upset. It looks like she's sitting in her bathroom, sitting on the floor next to the sink or something at midnight. I mean, this is depressing to think. I don't even know this woman, but 25 years inside of a marriage, and then you find yourself doing this at midnight, missing the man you were with for decades. Over what? Well, I mean, and now you're on social media. I got to imagine social media in the first place is what sort of gave you this idea or encouraged you to move along with the divorce. It's just depressing to me. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's quite dystopian. It's
Might make me smile. I was numb to all of it, except for thoughts that made the depression worse. Now that I'm really fighting darkness, fighting the depression, fighting to get rid of toxic relationships.
toxic.
That made it all worse. I still have these moments. Where I wish that I could still feel that numb again. Because
Grandma,
now I feel
get off
everything.
Of social
And
media.
I don't feel it just a little bit. I feel it.
Someone needs to take her
And
SIM
it's
card.
big. And it's overwhelming. And I'm sitting here on my bathroom floor
I knew it.
with no one to talk to. So if you're alone and you're in pain and you're sad,
Jesus Christ.
I'll sit with you.
Remember that this is the woman who was talking about how better off she will be once she leaves her marriage. But now, she cannot stop crying and complaining about how lonely she is. It's not even midnight, and she cannot sleep. She is so depressed to the point of going to the internet to look for other depressed people so that they can trauma bond. This is how all these so-called strong, independent women really feel inside. They are truly miserable, but they always put on this facade to try to impress the world. Now, this last clip will demonstrate how the mainstream media and social media keep on glamorizing this independent lifestyle that most modern women think they want, without painting the full picture of all the responsibilities and consequences the single lifestyle brings.
I went on my walk today, ready to do my daily gratitude video. But by the time I got to a quiet place to do the video, I had too much quiet time, too much time to think, and I managed to pick all of it apart when people think that you're successful and there's maybe a part that says you're successful, but then there's this really big part of you
What are you doing, Grandma?
that says you're a failure and that you don't deserve success, that you don't deserve happiness.
What are you talking about?
But there must be some part of me that doesn't really believe that because I still want those things. And I feel like I'm still fighting for those things, and that I'm not giving up. I'm still trying. But I'm exhausted today. I can't even fight the thoughts in my head. I need help. I need help fighting the dark thoughts in my head today. I can't fight this one alone today. Am I the only one that feels like that?
Oh, Jesus.
I hope I'm not alone. If TikTok has taught me anything, that every time I think I'm alone in something, there's thousands, hundreds of people that are going through some of the same experiences.
So it's kind of like, look at what she's doing here. She's substituting the real people in her life for the people on TikTok. How can one person live up to, I guess, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who are hyping her up and validating her decisions? This kind of same thing is going on with women when you try to date them. These women who are really addicted to the attention of hundreds of thousands of men on Instagram. How is one man in their life going to compare with the validation and dopamine that these women are receiving from hundreds or thousands of men? It's like they're replacing the real people in their life with these usernames on the screens. Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude.
Well, well, well. Looks like our strong, independent woman is having a really hard time coping. Where are the new friends and experiences you said you were looking for once you leave your husband? I bet that Chad and Tyrone...
All right, that's it from there. And so this is my issue I have with MGTOW. All right, now don't get your panties in a bunch and don't get offended. But if what these women are being preached and are being encouraged to do is to be single and divorce their husbands and search a life of empowerment and liberation and go and find yourself because men are holding you back, how is MGTOW any different? At least the part of MGTOW that encourages men to be single. This is where I get this is where I have disagreement with it. I understand going against the grain and not like being a good boy, yes man to society that actually doesn't even like you and is quite misandrous. But what I don't understand is this idea that I see a lot of times in the comments is telling men to be single. And I guess I understand it more if you're older and you're coming off of a marriage or a relationship and you're older. I totally, in a way, understand that. If you're like, you know what, I did it. Maybe I had kids, maybe I didn't have kids, but I was in a relationship for decades even, and shit, maybe this happened to you. One of these women gets this new idea, oh, let me file for divorce because I need to go find myself. You know, maybe that happened to you and you're like, I'm done. I understand that more than men who haven't gone through that and aren't quite older. I do not understand this idea of just be single. I don't get that. If you don't want to partake in the Western dating market, get your passport and go figure it out overseas. Go elsewhere. But to just say, oh, I'm going to just be single, I simply do not understand that. And I simply don't understand how it's different from what these women are being told to do. And I'm not going to be the guy to sit here and encourage that, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's sort of my only issue with the MGTOW thing. And so you're just gonna be voluntarily celibate? What's your plan? Are you gonna get hookers? That part I really don't get it. And then you're gonna find yourself online. Yeah, personally I don't get it. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one.